Today we're going to show you some old U.S. stamps from 1945 to 1947. Alright, starting with this one right here. Here's a 3 cents U.S. Army. See how they're all dressed. Okay, here's a 3 cent one. 1797 to 1942. Just a ship. Look at all the stars on there. Okay, then a 3 cents here, 1847 to 1947. Oh, wagon days. Here's another 3 cents, 1846 to 1946. That's a Smithsonian Institute. Here we have Everglades National Park, 3 cents. In 1846 to 1946, Iowa statehood. And this one, 1846 to 1946. It's the entry into Santa Fe. And 1847 to 1947, 3 cent stamp. Interesting picture, isn't it? Okay, 1847 to 1947, 3 cents. Another 3 cents. 150th anniversary of statehood for Tennessee. Roosevelt. 1882 to 1940, I think 3. 1 cent stamp. There's Roosevelt again, 1882 to 1945. Oh, so that probably was 45 there. A 2 cent stamp. Okay, and again here, 1882 to 1945, a 5 cent stamp. Roosevelt. Okay, Alfred Smith, 1873 to 1944, 3 cent stamp. There's another 3 cent stamp here for those who served, honoring those who served. Here's a 3 cent stamp, statehood 1846 to 1945, Texas. 1790 to 1945, U.S. Coast Guard. Ooh, that's a rough one, huh? 3 cent stamp. Okay, and a 5 cent stamp. April of 1945. This one here, 1845 to 1945. 3 cent stamp. Florida. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Alright, bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you U.S. stamps from 1948 and 1949. Thought this one here was rather interesting, along with the one right underneath too. That was, of course, interesting and stuff to see, but this one was really, really unique to look at for me. Alright, so let me take you through all of them. I know, I've never seen this one before. Really a nice one. In good condition. Alright, let's start from the very beginning here. Here we have a 3-cent one. And 1649 to 1949, 3 cents. Annapolis. And this one here. It says January 2nd, 1949. 3-cent stamp. Then 1749 to 1949. Washington and Lee University. Okay. In Minnesota Territory, 3-cent stamp. 1849 to 1949. Red River Ox Cart. Then we have the Mississippi Territory. That's a very nice stamp, isn't it? 1798 to 1948. That's a nice stamp right there. 3-cent stamp. One you don't see too often. Okay, then we get the 3-cent stamp. (1848 to 1948). The 3 ladies on there. And of course the one I brought to you that I found very interesting at the very beginning. 1848 to 1948. These are the 5 Indian tribes of Oklahoma. It represents each one of the tribes. So that's one that's very important to the history of Indians. Okay, 1848 to 1948, 3 cents, California gold. And the 3 cents here. The government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln. 3-cent stamp. Okay, here we have another 3-cent stamp. Francis Scott Key. (1848 to 1948). The century of friendship between the United States and Canada. That's the other interesting one that I thought was interesting. John McLaughlin and Jason Lee. A 3-cent stamp. Oregon Territory. It's a 300th anniversary of volunteer firemen. 1648 to 1948, 3-cent stamp. You see the different fire trucks here if you look beyond the picture on each side. Here's another 3-cent stamp. A lot of activity going on in there. Look at the picture. A fort of 1848 to 1948. All about the pioneers. There's a lot of action going on there. Look at that. A lot of work went into making that plate to be able to make stamps. Very interesting. Okay, 3 cents here. Another 3 cents here. 1848 to 1948, Texas. Another 3 cents here. Salute Young American, 3 cents. September 1st to the 30th of 1948. Okay, these are the chaplains, 3-cent stamp. Looks like the ship's going down. Okay, and the last 3-cent stamp. Gold Star Mothers. Alright, so here we are. Back to the one that I think is the most interesting one out of them all, representing all 5 tribes. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you some of the old Christmas stamps, the first ones made by the U.S. This one right here is the absolute first that the U.S. made, and this is in 1962. The U.S. first Christmas stamp. This right here was our second Christmas stamp. 5 cents in 1963. Second stamp the U.S. made. Christmas stamp. Oops, a beautiful Christmas tree. Then, in 64, they decided to do a set of 4. So the first one here we have is Holly. Then the poinsettia. Then the mistletoe. And the pine cone. So in 64, they printed a set of 4, and these are all 4 of them. Okay, then in 65, they went with just one, 5 cents one. And in 66, this was the 5th one, 5 cents. Okay, so all in all, this is the set of 5 years of the first 5 that the U.S. made. I thought you'd find that an interesting fact. And these are the first stamps ever made by the U.S. for Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays. Bye-bye. Today we're going to bring you U.S. stamps from 1950 and 1951. Alright, let's start with this first one right here. 1875 to 1950. Look at that. You got the ship, you got the farm, you got everything in there. America's Bankers Association, 3-cent stamp. Then right here, honoring the Railroad Engineer of America, 3-cent stamp. Between different styles of trains. Very nice. Okay, and here, 1950 to, well, at the bottom it has 18 something to 1950. Kansas City, Missouri. 3-cent stamp. Look at ship in the water and all the architectural buildings. All right. And here we have 1800 to 1950, Washington, 3-cent stamp. National Capital. Then we have the 3-cent stamps here for the veterans. And we have Washington, 1800 to 1950. 3-cent stamp. Just in a different color. The other one was green, this one's blue. A little different too in the building. Look at this one. There's that building, and then there's this building. Okay. And here we have Indiana Territory, 1800 to 1950, 3-cent stamp. California, 1850 to 1950. This one's a little bit different than what we usually see. And Colorado, 75th anniversary of statehood, 3-cent stamp. Look at everything that's going on in that stamp, huh? Quite a bit. Okay, American Chemical Society, 1876 to 1951, 3-cent stamp. Nevada's 3-cent stamp, 1851 to 1951. Ooh, Ride 'em Cowboy. United States Postage, Brooklyn. Washington saves Army at Brooklyn. 1776 to 1951. There you go. That's a nice looking stamp, isn't it? Okay, and we have a 3-cent stamp here. Very distinguished. Samuel. And here's a 3-cent stamp. The landing of Cadillac at Detroit, 1701 to 1951. 3-cent stamp. And we have this Washington 3-cent stamp. United States of America. 1800 to 1950. That one's a little different than what we normally see too. The Doesn't say United States postage, it says United States of America postage. It's in pink. Okay, and of course the Boy Scouts of America, 3-cent stamps. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you U.S. stamps from 1952 and 1953. I find this one rather interesting. It's a nice one. 300th anniversary of New York City. Beautiful one. Really nice. Alright, let me show them all to you. First we have the 3 cents. George Patton, Jr. The Armed Force of the U.S. Army. Isn't it nice to see all the details like that, huh? Beautiful. Okay. This is the Farmers, 1928 to 1953. See his jacket, the emblem on his jacket. Here's the 3 cents. Home with Theodore Roosevelt. And we have 1878. Liberty under law, 1953. Then we have 1902 to 1952, Reclamation, 3-cent stamp. Of course, the one we brought to you at the very beginning that I found very interesting, 300th anniversary of New York City, different one. This Postage, 3 cents, and on the other side, USA. Okay, this is the Red Cross, 3 cents. Founded in 1864. Okay, the Washington Territory, 1853, 3-cent stamp. That's an interesting one. Here's a 3-cent one. The birth of Ross. (1452 to 1952), 500th anniversary of the printing of the first book, which was the Holy Bible. $3 stamp, 125 years of rail transportation. There's some farmland and countryside picture right here. This is the 50th anniversary of the trucking industry. $3 stamp. Then the American Automobile Association, 1902 to 1952. Their $3 stamp. Do you see that? The 3 AAAs. Did they have that back then? Really? AAA? But back then it was for the American Automobile Association. Different meaning, different times. NATO, 3 cents. Then 1853 to 1953, Japan. Opening of Japan. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more as we travel around the world through old and rare vintage postage stamps. Bye-bye now. Hey, today we're showing you some DAG hammer jewel postage stamps. This is from 1962, honoring the distinguished and highly regarded Secretary General of the United Nations who died when his plane crashed in the jungles of Africa. So if you notice, the top one is the correct stamp that was first issued. And then after that, to destroy the philatelic value of a few of the stamps, the government deliberately printed yellow background inverted, and they reprinted millions of these other stamps. So here you have the original one right there, and then these are the reprinted, the bottom ones are the reprinted ones. So in this set, you have the original, and then you have the reprinted. So where I happen to have both of the stamps and everything, I thought I'd bring that to you because I know that it is of value to philatelists. So there you go. If you notice that this one here is post dated April 10th of 1963. But these were actually made in 62. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Alright, bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you U.S. stamps from 1954 to 1961. Alright, some rather interesting ones. Imagine doing a stamp with your glasses on your head. I found that one to be a little different. Alright, let's bring them all to you. There's the 1/2 cent. Benjamin Franklin. A 1 cent, Washington. A 2 cent, Jefferson. One and 1/4 cents. Okay. Mexico. A 4 and 1/2 cent. $4 Lincoln. And 8 cents for the general. I don't see him so much. 7 cents. 6 cents. Roosevelt. 5 cents, one row. 2.5 cent, Bunker Hill. 89 cents, the Alamo. Then the Liberty came in different colors, different amounts. Here's the 3 cents Liberty. Here's the 8 cents. In God We Trust Liberty. And this is the 11 cent. So you've got all three right there. Different times. Very nice. Okay, the 20 cents. Monte Carlo. 10 cents. Independent Hall. 12 cents. Harrison. Then the dollar for Patrick Henry. We've done his picture with his glasses on his head. Different for sure, huh? Okay, 50 cents. Susan B. Antoni. 40 cents. John Marshall. 25 cents. Paul Revere. That one you don't see so much. John Jay is also another one you don't see so much. 15 cents. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Here we have some postage stamps from the U.S. 1954 to 1956. This first one here is rather interesting. Can you imagine? The 50th anniversary of the Devil's Tower National Monument. The Devil's Tower. Wow. I find that one very, very interesting for sure. Okay, and right beside it we have the 3 cents Labor Day stamp. Look at all the details in that stamp. Beautiful. Labor is life. Beautifully designed. Nice stamp. Okay, then we have a 50th anniversary, Pure Food and Drug Laws. Okay, 3 cent stamp. Benjamin Franklin's 250th anniversary, 3 cent stamp. New Hampshire Live Free or Die, 3 cent stamp. Great Lakes Transportation, 3 cent stamp. 1855 to 1955. Okay, this is the home of James. Beautiful architect, isn't it? Look at that. 3 cent stamp. Oh, it's big. Okay, this one's different color. This is orange. 200th anniversary of the hall, which was 1756 to 1956. 3-cent stamp on orange paper. Okay, then the Friendship World Peace 3-cent stamp. Here's the key to world peace. We all hold it within us. Okay, there's a 3-cent stamp. Where all the stamp collection go, right? Okay, another 3-cent stamp. Washington. And then the Armed Force Reserve 3-cent stamp. Big eagle in the background. Kansas Territory. (1854 to 1954). All the wagon days. And we have a 3-cent stamp here. Melon. Another 3-cent stamp here. Eastman. Another 3-cent stamp. Lewis and Clark. 1804 to 1954. And Wildlife Conservation 3-cent stamp. Alright, so the most interesting one, really these two are kind of nice to see. Devil's Tower, I've never heard of that one. I have to check to see what the story is behind that stamp, that's for sure. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, today I'm bringing you these two stamps. They're actually the exact same stamp, only the one on the right did not go back through to get the gold printing. Okay, if you notice, Christmas here is in gold. And the 8 cents down here is in gold. So someone forgot to put this stamp here on the right back through the printing so that the Christmas could be in gold. It's really there, really faded away, and there is no 8 in front of the cent sign that says US. So it didn't go through the second printing to get the 8 to be 8 cents and for the Christmas to also be in gold. So I thought where I found this rather interesting and stuff that I would bring it to you, just these two like this. They're the exact same stamp, and it did get used because it's got the bars on it and everything from the post office. So it did get used, but it has no 8 cents, and Christmas is not in gold. The 8 is supposed to be in gold. So it went through the different colors, you know, back and forth through the printing for the colors and everything, but it did not go through for the gold. Because Christmas needed to be in gold, and there needed to be an 8 there, and that 8 is also in gold. So this is an interesting fact, so I thought I'd bring this to you. So all you stamp collectors, take a good look at it and let me know what you think. Alright, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more interesting old stamps. This is Christmas stamp. All right, bye-bye. Okay, today we're bringing you old stamps from the U.S., and this is from 1957. This one here I think is my most interesting, and if you see, it is stamped 1957 by the post office. This might be the most interesting one out of this one, but you'll be the judge of that. Let me bring them all to you now. Okay, this one here is the 3 cents for polio. Protecting the children. Here's the 3 cents. America and steel growing together. And this is 1957, 3 cent stamp. Wildlife conservation, 3 cent stamp. And this is the whooping crane. A couple of whooping cranes. Okay, religion and freedom, 3 cent stamp, 1957. And they used to use the feathers and a bottle of ink. Okay, this is 1757 to 1957, 3 cent stamp. Very elegant stamp. This is the 50th anniversary of Oklahoma statehood, 3 cent stamp, 1907 to 1957. This is shipbuilding, 1607 to 1957, 3 cent stamp. And of course the interesting one that I brought to you at the very beginning, Alexander Hamilton Bicentennial, 1957, 3 cent stamp. Very nice. Okay, this is a survey, 1807 to 1957, 3 cent stamp. Honoring the Teachers of America, 1857 to 1957, 3 cent stamp. The day when the kids would all wear ties to go to school for the boys and dresses for the girls, which you don't see so much today. International Naval Review, 3 cent stamp. American Institute of Architects, 1957, 3 cent stamp. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and as always, please share these videos with others who enjoy old and vintage postage stamps. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, these are the stamps of 1961. Look at this one. I've never seen this one before. I find it so amazing. 1911 Naval Aviation to 1961. See how the plane's just coming right in? 4-cent stamp. What a beautiful stamp. Very classy looking. Alright, let me take you through the rest of them. This was my first one, of course. Okay, then United States postage right here. Gentle Knight of Progressive Ideals. George Norris. Fort Sumter, 1861 to 1961. Nice one. Love the different shades of green in that. That's a pretty one. Okay, Range Conservation, 4-cent stamp. Okay, then we have the Nursing, 4-cent stamp. And here's our Oriental one, 4 cents. Here's another 4 cents. Native Americans. In 1911 to 1961, 4 cents. Workers' Laws. Then we have here 1861 to 1961. There's a baseball, 4-cent stamp. That one you don't see too often. That's a good one. Okay, and then of course in 1961 we had some more of our medals. Champion of Liberties, 4-cent stamp. We have another 4-cent stamp, 1861 to 1961, statehood of Kansas. And 4 cents here. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. This is all I had for 1961. This, of course, is the most important one, I believe, out of this group. It's just so rare. You don't see too many of these still hanging around. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more old postage stamps so we can look back at the history of the beautiful design stamps. It's really a work of art. All part of our American history. Bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you 1958 and 1959 U.S. postage stamps. This one, of course, is the most interesting one that I found out of this group here that I thought you'd really enjoy. Seeing the stagecoach, all the horses and stuff. Overland Mail, 1958, U.S. postage, 4 cents. What a beautiful stamp, huh? Alright, let me take you through all the stamps we have for this video. Okay, 1859 to 1959, 4 cents. Black and white stamp. Arctic Exploration, 1909 to 1959, 4 cents. Lincoln-Douglas debate, 1858 to 1958. Soil Conservation, 4 cent stamp. Beautiful colors. Okay. Another forest conservation. Look how big the trees were back then, huh? Okay, international 3-cent stamp here, 1957-58. Okay, another 1758 to 1958 from the fort. Look at all the men. They had to design this, you know. It wasn't just take a picture and put them on the stamps. These were plates that were designed back then. That's how they used to do that. It's a 4-cent. Of course, the beautiful one that I showed you at the very beginning that I just love this stamp. I really haven't seen this one before at all, which makes it very unique to have. Okay, the Atlantic Cable, 1858 to 1958, 4 cents. 1758 to 1958. It's a nice 3-cent stamp, isn't it? Very detailed. Okay, and we have Lincoln's 1-cent stamp. And 1858 to 1859 to 1959. Industry 4-cent stamp. And this is another one I haven't seen before because it's just black and white. There's no color to it. I've seen it before, but I thought it was in color. Freedom of the Press. And just black and white. 4 cents. Here's another one that I haven't seen before. Gardening. 3-cent stamp. Really haven't seen that one before at all. Okay, and there's a 4-cent stamp. Webster. Another 4-cent stamp. McDowell. Okay, and then we have Champion of Liberty stamps. There's the 4 cents. (1948 to 1953). Another 4 cents. Here's another one. An 8-cent stamp. Champion of Liberty. That's a nice one. I haven't seen this one before. All the difference in all the colors in this. Really nice. Okay, and a 4-cent stamp here. And another 4 cents, Champion of Liberty. Okay, these are all the metal ones here. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. And if you wish, you may always fan find me. That's that little eye in the upper right hand corner. Alrighty, bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you U.S. stamps from 1960. I thought this one was rather a unique looking one. You don't see this one too often. I mean, the American woman, you've seen some other ones, but not this particular design. Very pretty. Alright, let me show you what else was made in 1960 for U.S. stamps. First we have Communication for Peace, 4 cents. Wheels of Freedom, 4 cents. Here's another 4 cents. First automated post office in the United States. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, and of course the Pony Express, 1860 to 1960. Okay. 1860 to 1960, United States, Japan, 4 cent stamp. Mexican Independence, 1810 to 1960, 4 cent stamp. And here's another 4 cent stamp. World Refuge Year. Wow. That's a part of history, huh? 4 cent stamp. In black and white. Interesting. Okay, Boys Club of America movement, 4 cent stamp, 1860 to 1960. And Campfire Girls, 1910 to 1960. Okay, here's our 4 cent stamp. Of John. 4 cent stamp of Andrew. And Water Conservation, 4 cent stamp. This is all of 1960. These are the U.S. stamps that came out. Walter, 4 cent stamp. And Taft's 4 cent stamp. Then the champion of medals of that year. Here's the 4 cent one. Here's another 4 cents one. Italian. And the stamp that we brought you at the very beginning, the American Woman 4 cent stamp. Another 4 cent stamp for the medal. And the last one. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now.